This is a story that will bring tears to your eyes and awaken respect for parents in your heart. Let us move toward that moment where feelings awaken and hearts change. It was night time. Cold air was blowing through the Springfield, Texas. The town was quiet and silent. At the edge of the town stood an old house. A dim light was glowing outside the door. Inside the house sat 65-year-old Robert. He was sitting on a sofa holding a Bible. In front of him was an old wooden box with papers, an old watch, and memories of the past. In the kitchen, his wife, Rose, was standing. Her face showed the marks of a lifetime of hard work. She said softly, "Robert, the groceries are finished again." I thought of calling David, but he did not call today. Robert closed the Bible and stayed silent for a moment. Then he said gently, "Leave it, Rose. He must be busy in New York." Rose smiled faintly, but her eyes were wet. "What kind of busyness is this, Robert? When this child was small, we stayed awake all night for him. Today, he does not even have time to ask about us." Robert sighed and said, "When children grow up, they think their parents' pain is old. But the emptiness in parents' hearts never becomes old." Silence spread through the house. The night became deeper. Robert was the same man who spent his entire youth working hard. He worked on farmland from early morning, returned home tired every evening. He always had one dream. "My son David will study, become successful, and support me in old age." David was very intelligent as a child. His teacher, Mr. Miller, used to say, "This boy will make a name for himself in New York." Robert spent all his earnings on David's education. Rose sold her jewelry for his future. David grew up, moved to New York City, and got a good job. He got married to Emily Williams. They lived in a big apartment and had a good life. At first, David called often. Then the calls became fewer. Then only excuses remained. One day Robert called him and said, "Son, are you well? I have not heard your voice in days." David replied, "Dad, I am very busy. Work pressure is high." Robert said, "God bless you, son. Just remember your mother sometimes." David said, "I will call later." And the phone disconnected. Rose asked with tears, "What did he say?" Robert held the Bible close and replied, "He said he is busy." Days passed and Rose fell sick. Robert called David with shaking hands. "Son, your mother is not well. We need some money for medicine." After silence, David said, "Dad, expenses are high. You should borrow from someone. I will send money next month." Robert lowered his head and said, "All right, son. God make it easy." Rose understood that next month would never come. After some time, news came that David bought a new car. Robert smiled for a moment and then went silent. Rose said, "He showed the world but did not tell us." Robert replied, "Parents must never curse their children." Months passed. No calls, no messages. Rose became weaker day by day. Robert prayed every morning, "O Lord, put mercy in my son's heart." One day news came from the city. David's business collapsed. Friends left him. Debt surrounded him. One night David sat alone and remembered his father's words, "Peace is in the heart, not in the city." He cried and said to Emily, "I must go back to my parents." They returned to Springfield, Texas. David stood at the door with trembling steps. Robert was sitting in the yard holding the Bible. "Dad." Robert looked up and tears flowed. "My son has returned." David fell to his knees and said, "Forgive me. I thought you were a burden." Robert placed his hand on David's head and said, "Parents may be upset, but they never stop loving." David went to his mother. Rose opened her weak eyes and smiled. "We always prayed for you." From that day, everything changed. David stayed in the village, worked on the farm, cleaned the yard, served his parents. He said, "In New York I had money but no peace. Here I have peace even without wealth." Robert smiled and said, "True wealth is love, faith, and parents' prayer." The lesson is simple. True success is not money. True success is realizing that parents are blessing.